if you enjoy discovering the untold stories of history, the voices that shaped civilizations, and the legends the world almost forgot, then take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now, close your eyes and imagine the 14th century. There are no banks as we know them, no stock exchanges, no billionaires ranking on global lists. Yet somewhere in West Africa, in the heart of a vast and powerful empire, a man is rising whose wealth will be so enormous that even today historians struggle to measure it. His name was Mansa Musa, and this is how he became the richest man in history. Musa was not originally expected to wear the crown. He served as a deputy under the ruling emperor Abu Bakr II, but history took an unexpected turn. Abu Bakr became obsessed with what lay beyond the Atlantic Ocean, determined to explore it. He reportedly launched a massive expedition with thousands of ships. Essile West in turn. The empire could not remain without leadership. Stability was crucial. Trade had to continue. Borders had to be protected. And so, around 1312, Musa stepped forward and became Mansa, meaning King of Kings. Of the Mali Empire, what he inherited was not an ordinary kingdom. Mali was sitting on one of the greatest sources of wealth on earth, gold. Vast gold fields in regions like Bambouk and Bure produced extraordinary quantities of the precious metal. At that time, West Africa supplied nearly half of the world's gold. Gold coins circulating in North Africa and Europe often originated from the lands Musa now ruled. But it wasn't just the gold itself that made him wealthy, it was control. Musa controlled the mines. He controlled the trade routes. He controlled the taxation system. Caravans of camels crossed the Sahara desert carrying gold northward. In return, they brought back salt, textiles, books, horses, and luxury goods. Every caravan that entered or left Mali generated revenue. Taxes were collected. Security was provided. The empire became the beating heart of trans-Saharan commerce inside Mali. Large gold nuggets legally belonged to the emperor. Gold dust was used as currency, but the largest pieces were stored in the royal treasury. This system allowed Musa to regulate supply and maintain authority over the economy. Wealth flowed steadily into the empire. And because trade routes were protected and political stability was maintained, that wealth did not collapse under disorder. Musa strengthened administration, appointed loyal governors, and ensured that trade remained uninterrupted. Gold was the foundation, but organization was the structure that held everything together. Yet for years, much of the world had little idea just how wealthy he was. That changed in 1304, driven by deep religious devotion. Musa decided to perform the Hajj, the sacred pilgrimage to Mecca, for a Muslim ruler. This was an act of faith. But for the ruler of Mali, it became something unprecedented. Musa did not travel quietly. He departed with a caravan said to include around 60,000 people, soldiers, officials, attendants, and servants. 100 camels carried hundreds of pounds of gold each. Gold bars, gold dust. More wealth than most cities would see in a lifetime as he journeyed across the Sahara and into Cairo. The spectacle stunned onlookers. Markets paused. Crowds gathered. People whispered about the Golden King from the south. In Cairo, He distributed gold generously to the poor, to scholars, to merchants, and to the ruling elite. His giving was sincere and abundant, but the sheer amount of gold he released into the economy caused inflation. The value of gold dropped. Price rose. The economic effects lingered for years. It was one of the only times in history when a single individual's spending disrupted an entire regional economy. News of Musa spread rapidly. Stories of his wealth reached North Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. In 1375, European cartographers included him in the Catalan Atlas, depicting him seated on a golden throne holding a massive nugget of gold. To distant observers, he became almost mythical, the African king whose riches seemed limitless, but Musa's wealth was not built on display alone. On his return journey, he brought scholars, architects, and thinkers back to Mali. He invested heavily in learning and infrastructure. Timbuktu, already an important trade city, flourished further under his support. The Sanka Madrasa expanded, attracting students from across Africa and the Islamic world. Libraries filled with thousands of manuscripts covering astronomy, mathematics, medicine, law, and theology, while parts of Europe faced instability. Timbuktu became a renowned center of scholarship. This investment strengthened Mali's prestige and influence. Knowledge became another form of wealth, one that reinforced trade, diplomacy, and governance. Musa understood that gold alone could make a man rich, but education could make a civilization powerful. So how did he truly become the richest man in history? It was not a sudden discovery of treasure. It was a combination of inheritance, strategic control, political stability, intelligent economic management, and global visibility. He ruled over the largest gold-producing region in the world. He controlled and taxed major trade routes connecting continents. He regulated gold's supply within his empire. He maintained order across vast territories. And through his pilgrimage, he revealed his wealth to the wider world in dramatic fashion. Modern historians, attempting to estimate his fortune, often conclude that, adjusted to today's standards, his wealth would equal hundreds of billions of dollars, possibly more than any modern billionaire. But the numbers tell only part of the story. Mansa Musa became the richest man in history because he stood at the perfect intersection of resources and leadership. Gold gave him opportunity. Trade multiplied it. Stability protected it. Faith guided him, and vision expanded it beyond material wealth. When he died around 1337, the Mali Empire remained one of the most powerful states of its time. Though it would eventually decline in later generations, his reign marked its golden age. His wealth reshaped economies. His pilgrimage changed how the world viewed Africa. And his investment in knowledge created a legacy that endured long after the gold had changed hands. He was not a financier, not an industrial magnate, not a technology entrepreneur. He was a 14th century African emperor who understood how to turn natural resources into structured power and power into lasting influence. And that is how Mansa Musa became the richest man the world has ever known. If you enjoyed this story, tell us in the comments which historical figure or legend you would like us to talk about next. Your suggestion might become our next journey into the untold echoes of human history. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the next story.